Ba ba da ba 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 ba. It is Monday. We are on SPTV. We are back, baby. Good morning and welcome to Start Your Day. And in fact, restart your SPTV because SPTV has been on a break, but it is back. And we are looking forward to welcome you all back with spirituality, upliftment, laughter, jokes, fun, song, and notices about what's going on in SPTV land in the up and coming days. It has been a while and we appreciate Richard coming back, getting all of his technology fixed, getting all of the situation with the move sorted, and remembering where we are because we are back bigger, badder, and bolder than ever. Richard's in the background, and look who it is. Karen Wood, how are you, darling?
Good morning, Nick. Good morning, everyone. And morning, Richard. It is wonderful to be back, and I'm feeling really good because the sun's out and it's going to be hot, hot, hot today. I literally dropped the cases last night after getting back from my northeast trip, so it was a bit of a run around this morning. But we're here and we're ready to say hello and welcome back our wonderful SPTV family. Oh, it's so exciting!
It is, isn't it? And of course, thank you for everyone who has been keeping the flame alive and asking when we're back. Well, here's your
Yes.
answer. Hello. And thank you, Richard, for working so hard in the background, as you always do, to get everything sorted, get all of the kinks ironed out.
Yes.
It's great to be back amongst you all, and it's great to return the beacon of light back for spiritual upliftment and discussion and debate and messages. And
Yes.
I have missed you all terribly. In fact, Richard and I, when we first came on this morning, within about 3 words of the first sentence, my pronunciation was correct. So I have let it slide. But it's so good to be back, being spoken to in a terms that makes me speak properly. I
Hmm.
will endeavour to pronounce my T's and cross my I's as best I can.
That's all right then. That's okay. Yeah, it's been a strange few weeks because the first few weeks that we weren't on, I was like, I'm supposed to be doing something, and it felt
Yeah,
felt very strange. It felt, really weird that I wasn't getting my usual routines and usual rituals into place, and I was a bit lost, to be honest. I was thinking I'm supposed to be doing something, and I'm not. But it's good to be back and to get back into the swing of things. And so it'd be lovely to welcome you all back and find out what you've been up to while we've not been on air. So, and
absolutely.
look at things in a different perspective since we've not. Did you miss us? We missed you. So it'd be lovely to have a chat and to get the family back together again. So,
Absolutely. Get the band back. Get the band back
get the
up and
band back. Yes, get the band back together. Absolutely. Absolutely.
absolutely. And of
I've got a song in
course,
my head now.
and of course, that's one of the things I've been doing is sharing songs from spirit. It's now one of my little things that I do to just try and build people up and get people pumping is sharing a song for the day because I always find that songs touch you on an emotional and spiritual level. The music just has a way of capturing you, and enhancing and growing your emotions in such a way. And lyrics are literally just like poems. So that those messages that spirit give through song, I see so many mediums, and I'm one of them myself, that will give a song as part of a message, and will ask for a message in song when we need something for ourselves. And they are absolutely accurate at helping you get a perspective and changing your perspective and grow your perspective and see things in a different light, I suppose. Incoming transmission from the big giant head. Yeah.
Oh wow. Yeah. Yeah.
Richard,
Yeah.
for everyone at home, was just explaining how he'd had a song that resonated with him when he was doing something in particular. And I hear it so often. Um, you know, I like, for instance, yesterday I had not planned on I try and avoid Sundays, have a day off. And I'd not planned on doing one. Well, I got in the car to go down and get some orange juice for Nigel, and the phone didn't connect and the radio kicked straight in, because that's how I've been doing it. Go out, sit in the car, ask for a song, radio comes on. And that song was just so resonant with how I was feeling. I was like,
Mm.
okay, I've got to do a song for the day. I've got to do a song for the day because it might resonate with other people. And that is such a beautiful way of reaching us, because there is that ambiguity of the lyrics being able to reach many people. But
Yeah.
within that ambiguity, so weirdly, is a perfect resonance as well, that grabs hold of your heart and just gives you a good old shake. And so I
Mm.
think songs are vital, and those words can
Absolutely.
have such a difference to us. And it is all about, getting us to look at a new perspective, and letting
No,
us know we're not alone.
do you know what, Nick? This is really strange. You know that I love synchronicity and I love things like that. And you're talking about, and I now realize what you were talking about on your two revs thing, because you were talking about, I played this song and it was a song for the day. So I'm thinking, what is he talking about? Has he been playing music on Facebook? So I was a bit confused, but now it makes sense. But I've always been very music driven. And I say to all my group in my circle, create your own playlist for the mood that you're in, and also to inspire you with your philosophy, and also because music resonates it's got vibrations, and we can tune into that vibrations because our chakras have those vibrations, and we can tune in, and it can lift us up, it can push us down, it can make us want to dance. So what we want, we can play a song. And on Saturday, I did a workshop in a lovely church in Middlesbrough, and we were I gave all the students that came a song, and we worked with the song, but along with who came, a lovely girl came to the workshop called Callie, and she's a singer-songwriter and a beautiful philosopher. Oh my God, Nick, if you heard her philosophy, it was wonderful, absolutely wonderful. The words that she was inspired to speak, and it was so wonderful because on the Sunday, um, it was the workshop I did wasn't a mediumship workshop. It wasn't a speaking workshop as such. It was an empowerment and confidence building workshop. And she came along, and I invited her to come and read her philosophy on the Sunday service with me on the platform. And she was umming and ahhing, and but she did it in the end. And I felt really honoured that she chose to. She said, "Oh, lots of mediums have." Dawn, the president, said, "Oh, lots of mediums have been asking her, but she won't do it." But she did it when I asked her, which I felt really chuffed about. And what we did was she read the words that she wrote, and then I connected in with those words and added to that, and it was all about love.
Yeah.
And bearing in mind, what's been happening, and recently, it was so apt for that moment, and you could feel that energy within the church. It was absolutely beautiful. So, and she's such a talented soul. She really is. And she sent me one of her songs, which I haven't listened to because it ended up going on YouTube, and it's called Rise. And it actually ended up going in like the top of a Christian playlist or something on YouTube. So when I've listened to it, I'll send it to you to
Yeah.
see what a talented lady that she is. She really is. So it's interesting that I was working with music this weekend, and also
Yeah.
you've been doing it. So
Yeah.
we better
Let's
start saying some
Yes.
hellos, hadn't
Let's see
we?
who's out and about in SPTV land this morning. And starting off bright and bold and brassy, there she is, the lovely Chrissy Wheatley. Morning, everyone. Welcome back. It's lovely to see you again. It's been too long. I hope you are all well. We too
Oh,
to you, my dear. We too to you.
and we also have Jay Johnston, and she says, "Hello, beautiful people." Well, hello, Jay, and welcome to the show.
Yes, Jay did the meditation show on a Friday. So hello, Jay. Good to see you, hon.
Hello, Jay. Nice to see you.
Welcome
Nice to see
along.
you.
Welcome along. And Linda Lenham Healy, good morning. Oh, and look at that beautiful specimen in
Oh,
that picture
I
there.
know. Oh, hello, Mama Brown. She's back. Oh, it's so nice to see you too, Linda. I'm so pleased you're with us.
She's about. She's always about. Michelle Harris, good morning to you too. Yeah. Oh, and Jay Johnson, stand by. Incoming transmission from the big giant head to you too. Richard did say he'll be in touch a little bit later on. Don't miss it. Don't miss it.
Stand by your phone. Good morning, Kelly Rocket. Oh, she's so happy to see us. Well, we're happy to see you. So that's
Good to
wonderful.
see you. And Julie Friel, good morning to you. Good morning, Julie.
Good morning, Summer Dawson. Nice to have you with us.
Yeah, hello. And Jan A, hello everyone. Welcome back from Slovenia. There we are. We are
Hello,
reaching
Jan.
to the globe.
Jan's my friend. So hello, Jan. Lovely to have you back. She missed us. She was asking me when we were back on.
Bless her.
Good morning, Rebecca. Lovely to see you. Yay, we're back.
We miss you
Isn't it
too.
wonderful?
And the Duchess herself, there she is, the lovely Deb Clark. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Deb. And of course, Deb will be with us. Our wonderful Deb will be with us tonight at 7 o'clock. So put that time in your calendar, people, because you don't want to miss Deb.
You certainly don't. And Ashley is with us. Hi, everyone. Hi, Richard and friends. Missed you all. We really have missed you all too.
Oh, isn't it nice? Isn't it
Yeah.
nice? We're all back. Hello, Natalie Bentley. Nice to see you. Oh, I love your dog.
Oh, hello. And Shaz Fairy, morning. So good to see you both back. And it's good to see you back too. Morning, Shaz.
Morning, Shaz. Nice to see you. And hello, Gail Davis. Nice to see you too.
Hey, hey, hey. And Jessica Nicole, hello, everyone. So glad to see you all back. Well, as we've said it, we are good to be back.
Good morning, Eunice. Nice to have you with us. Yes, we've missed the show too.
Definitely, definitely. And Sam B. Ah, hello, beautiful people. Hello, Sam. Good to see you, though.
Oh, we've been missed. We've been missed, haven't we? Hello, Cheryl. Good morning. Nice to see you.
Hey, hey, hey. And Marion Anderson, all the way from wherever on Facebook, because we've got Facebook and YouTube. See, I'm getting out of practice here.
Yeah, I
Everyone
know.
on
I know.
Facebook and YouTube joining in. So you were on Facebook, and here's someone on YouTube.
Good morning, Jessica. Nice to see you.
Bless you. And Simon Butte, hello and good morning to you too.
Good morning, Eva. Oh, we're doing fine, thank you, and hope you are too. Ah,
Kate May, modern day mystic, is not only with us right here in the chat, she's also with us a little bit later on with that thing that you have definitely been missing. It's the
yes.
Monday weekly tarot scope from the lovely Kate May. Good to see you, my doll, and we can't wait to see what the week's got in store for us.
Good morning. Good morning, Kate, and also good morning, Vicky. Nice to see you with us.
And Deb Windsor and a lovely puddy tat there says good morning. Morning.
Good morning, Michelle Harris. Nice to see you. Oh, lovely, happy upliftments with you both. That's nice, isn't it?
And
Oh,
Elaine
my friends.
Christie. Hello to
That's
Elaine
another.
Christie.
That's another friend of mine. Oh, morning, Elaine. Lovely to have you on the show.
And Deborah Zwires, all the way from Canada. Hope I pronounced that correctly.
Good morning, Shari Louise. Nice to have you with us.
And Francis Delaney, all the way from Ireland with Monday Good Vibes. Good
Oh, yes.
morning, Francis.
Hello, Vicky. Lovely to see you. Oh, look at your cute dog. I've got cute dog things
See,
today.
we're geeking out on all of your pictures now, everyone. Kim Byrne, good morning to you. Hi, darling.
Good morning, Helen Lisa Davis. Nice to see you.
Good morning.
Ah,
And
oh,
good
that's nice.
morning to everyone who has said hello. Good morning to everyone who hasn't, because we know you're there watching. We know you're there watching, but you're never forced to do anything you don't want to. But welcome along. Like for instance, Liv George just slipped in there right at the last moment. Morning to Liv. But yes, so we are talking about perspective. We've been touching on the music. What I've been doing yeah, what I've been doing with that is just broadcasting one every day. However, thanks to copyright, I'm unable to share the actual music, so I just share the link to YouTube. There's a way around it, but
Absolutely.
most importantly, yes. Unless it's with the TikTok sound overlay, which I've managed to tweak that a little bit on TikTok, but um, but I'm working on that. I'm working on that. But no, we have got something much, much, much more grandiose and important to discuss first, and that is the new schedule. I feel like we should have some kind of background music and a graphic and fireworks and everything
I
going on.
know.
Um,
Oh,
we,
we've
we, we've
we've got it. We've got it in our ear now.
we've got it in our ear now. You don't get to have it at home. I don't know whether that's a good or a bad. But but we have, of course, a new schedule to announce as promised, and we can tell you all the way up to Thursday. You've got some wonderful shows coming up. Of course, on a Monday, you've got Start Your Day 10:30. A show all about bringing you news and information and upliftment and messages, which is it. It's I think something of an institution now in terms of getting the week started. So, it's a wonderful, wonderful show. I can't say that I can't say that it's anything other really. But of course, tonight we shift into high gear with the Duchess of SPTV herself. The lovely Deb Clark is joining you all at 7 p.m. tonight.
Definitely.
What have we got?
That'll be a good one. And
Absolutely. What have we got on Wednesday, darling? Because there's
so
nothing on Tuesday.
on. No, there isn't anything on Tuesday.
Probably do that after. Yeah, do that after. Yeah. No,
Yeah.
remember then.
Okay. So on Wednesday at 7 p.m. we have the wonderful Claire Pasterfield with us. So I hope you've got your pen and paper ready or tapping it into your phone because there are some slight changes and we'll explain that in a little while. And
And
then on
on
go on then.
Thursday at 6 p.m. Thursday at 6 p.m. we've got the lovely Emily Baker back, which is going to be so exciting. I know you're all going to look forward to that. And there will, of course, as Karen just touched on there will be no 8 p.m. shows. There will be no 8 p.m. shows. It's going to be earlier from now. And of course, there will be more announcements throughout the week for other shows that are coming up. There will be that rotation cycle of different presenters on different evenings. The reason being is that there has been a lot of changes while we're away. Richard has started living life and living it to the full. And in order to ensure SPTV maintains a wonderful schedule, but also a work-life balance, we have had a few changes at SPTV. So there is some good luck and goodbyes, I'm afraid, because some people have taken the opportunity to also do the same with the changes in SPTV. They're moving on to do other things bolder and better and taken this opportunity as part of the schedule reshuffle. to say, right, okay, I'm moving off and doing other things now, because life is all about changes in perspective and everything. So the first thank you and so long and thanks for all the fish is the lovely David Hale. So a big thank you to everything that you've done, David, for SPTV. And I know that you're going to carry on and be amazing in whatever you do. But sadly, David is one of the mediums that has moved on, as part of the, as my old boss used to call it, the cabinet reshuffle.
I like that. I like that. And also, of course, the lovely Laura Whitfield is moving on. So thank you, Laura. I have a soft spot for Laura because we're friends, and also she was a student of mine for many years, and it was so lovely to have her part of the SPTV family. And I think that she grew from it. I really do. But she's decided just to move on and do some different things, and I'm so proud of her, and I love her to bits, and I wish her well in all that she does.
Absolutely. And another so long farewell, auf Wiedersehen, adieu to the beautiful Sarah Andrews, who gave so much in her time on SPTV. Again, another big thank you for everything, and be well, don't lose touch, because the community won't let you. Because what I'm absolutely loving right now is seeing that the community are already, hello, how you doing? Oh, you're on, hello. And I'm loving watching all the comments flying
It is
past,
nice.
because
It is nice.
everything that we do is about building communities. And I have a great deal of respect for anyone who endeavors to build a community. But what they must also do is ensure that their own community is maintained too, their own lives. And so there have been changes at SPTV. Is SPTV still on TikTok? Well, it certainly does have a page. And I'm sure. Okay. And so all of the, absolutely. So in regards to the TikTok, it's still there. All the content's still on there, and I doubt it's going anywhere soon. Richard will be addressing TikTok in the coming weeks, and he will be deciding on what he makes use of that for. But he has asked us to say a big thank you to everyone for all the comments and the support that have been coming through, not just on Facebook and YouTube, but in particular actually on TikTok, because it is a slightly more an interactive environment because you don't have so many distractions, I suppose. But a big thank
Absolutely.
you and good luck to the lovely David, Sarah, and Laura. And stay tuned, because we have not mentioned all of the names of all of the shows, because there's just a few little kinks being ironed out in the schedule. But there is so much excitement and fun to come. So starting off the ball rolling, it's such an honor and a privilege, actually, to be able to be the show that brought SPTV back.
It
Um,
is. Absolutely.
and
Absolutely.
ironically, a week after my 2 year anniversary of being with SPTV.
Oh, wow.
Uh,
Congratulations, Nick.
in
That's
actual fact,
amazing.
2 years, 2 years of the Monday show, to be precise.
Love that.
Of feeling the grind of working late.
That's lovely.
No, but no, it's been 2 years now that I've been part of the Monday show, and I've loved every moment of it. So it's great to be able to welcome you all back to SPTV, and don't forget, of
Yes.
course, there will be no 8 o'clock shows anymore, because you know what, Richard's
No.
got a life, and he should make use of it.
He's put
We
he,
and he
oh
has learned how to bake cakes. And interestingly enough, I'm also very interested in the quiche that he was talking about earlier.
we'll have to talk baking, Richard. I've since joining the WI, which I've been doing, I picked up my baking skills again. So we'll have to compare lemon drizzle cakes.
Oh, and I did promise him a few of my recipes as well, because I used to be a baker. That was my first trade out of
Really?
school. Yeah,
Well, I I think we ought to have a cooking slot one day. Just just a cooking slot, just one week, just to talk about cakes and
The Great
lovely,
Spirit
yummy
Bake Off.
things. The Great Spirit Bake Off. I can see it now. Oh, look, Neil Payne, thank you, sweetheart. Karen's quiche is amazing. Love it, love it, love it.
But yes,
But
it's
you know
good
what,
to,
Nick?
yeah.
Can I just say something here? I think what life sometimes teaches us, and I think what's going to be happening on SPTV over the next few weeks is that we've got to be fluid.
Yes.
Things are going to be changing. There may be shows on Fridays that may work once a month. I think what you need to do sometimes is take stock. You need to look at things. You need to get your life into perspective. And we've all done it, and we all should do it on a regular basis. It's a little bit like, like you and Richard are very techy, and you give your computer a little bit of maintenance every now and again. You sort of download things, you sort things out, rejig things. And I think we sometimes need to do that with ourselves. We need to think about, we need to take ourselves off the treadmill for a while and think about, what's important. Where do we want to go? What changes do we want to make? So I think we've all done it in life. Me personally, I just moved.
Yeah, yeah, you did,
I
didn't
just
you?
moved. I just moved house, and changed things around a bit.
Yeah, going to say
Yeah, and
Richard as
Richard's
well.
yeah, Richard's
Yeah,
moved, and it does make you think about things when you're clearing out your cupboards. It's like you're clearing out the cobwebs as well, you know. So
absolutely.
what Absolutely. And what I would say to people is keep an eye on the Facebook page and the website because Deb Clark's moved too, so everybody's moving. So that's good. But the thing is, I think, oh, really, your neighbours are
Yeah.
exciting. That's
I'll
brilliant.
be
That's
honest with
brilliant.
you.
Yeah,
I wasn't
love it.
I wasn't at all planning on moving, but I might be moving closer to Bernie West for a piece of her Oreo chocolate cheesecake. If you can make it,
Oh,
if you can make it with vegan stuff, because I'm lactose intolerant, that'd be even better, doll. But that sounds really, really nice. So
yeah.
I'm moving to near Bernie West now. I've
Oh,
made,
right, right,
yeah,
right. I like what Clara says here. Life can change in the blink of an eye, and it can. You just don't know. And I know Clara takes us. Clara can take herself off. She takes herself off on a trip. Or she takes herself off out the country. So sometimes that's saying a change is as good as a rest.
yes,
Is appropriate there. But it's very true. Life can change in a blink of an eye, and we've all been through that. So, let's have your perspectives on things as well. I'm going
yes,
to
because
keep them
that is, of
coming.
course, what we're talking about. Um, oh yes. Ashley says, "Oh my God, me too, Nick. I'm dairy intolerant. Do you know what? I've got some wonderful cheesecake recipes that are lactose intolerant.
Oh, here
Um,
we go.
I I have got some wonderful, really, really rich and creamy and cheesy and absolutely anything.
What's
Um,
your address, Nick? What's your address? I'm coming for a visit.
but you
Take off
say
with it.
so. If anyone's interested, I've got a few recipes I'm willing to share. I might put them on my Facebook page. But yes, it's a wonderful opportunity to, yes, yeah, check the app. Um, Check and change, I think, is the key. And you know what? In order to do that, we always need a little bit of spiritual guidance. And I've
Good.
always found that a good tarot scope's good at doing that because it's the first time in a long time, and I can't wait to say it. What time is it, Karen?
It's 11:01 and it's Roland Richard time.
We'll see you in a bit with a lovely Kate May.
Good morning, everybody. How are we doing this week? It is the 12th of August. your week ahead tarot readings for each zodiac sign. So let's have a look. My name's Kate May, Modern Day Mystic. You can catch me on katemay.co.uk. Aries, 5 of Pentacles this week, Aries. Things might be a little bit challenging for you. So it's time to reach out and ask for help and ask for support. Don't struggle on your own. This is Mercury in Taurus, so it's going to be like really difficult for you to perhaps reach out, but it is saying you're going to do it at the end of the day, so you might as well start the day doing it. Don't struggle unnecessarily. Reach out where you need some support. Taurus, 4 of Pentacles. Hold on to your money this week, Taurus. Be a bit cautious with what's coming in and what's going out. Sometimes this can be because you're saving up for something special, something big, but it does indicate not be so tight that you're missing out on some good stuff, but just be a bit cautious, a bit flexible. Don't be so super generous this week. Gemini, wishes are coming true, new beginnings, there is hope, there is new alignment, good health, everything's feeling dandy this week for you, Gemini. Go for it. There is new beginnings and a realignment. Cancer, big changes around you this week, Cancer. There could be some unexpected news, a bit of chaos going on. However, when there's things that are broken down, it allows us to rebuild them even stronger. So forewarned is forearmed. Leo, the devil. Are you the devil, Leo, or is it somebody around you? Are you being a bit controlling? Do you need to break free from a situation? Is there something toxic around you at the moment that's not healthy? Ask yourself where you need to have more freedom or what you need to break free from. Don't allow yourself to be controlled, Leos. Don't obsess about things either. Virgo, Temperance. Have I shuffled these? The Temperance. This is all about having patience this week, Virgo. This is about finding that middle ground, doing a bit of this, doing a bit of that, finding that middle ground where you can have patience, get patience. And know, Virgos, that you're in something for the long haul, so you don't have to rush. Take your time. Healing is around you at the moment, Virgo, as well. Libra. Your own card, the Justice card. Balance restores. The truth is very important this week for you, Libra, and you might find, Libras, that you have important decisions to make, or a decision becomes final for you. There could be some legalities coming in around you, Libra, as well. Important documents, signings there, things maybe to do with property and house, if not actual legal situations. Scorpio. The Wild. Everything is coming to a new attainment for you. Loose ends are being tied up. Things are coming full circle and you're in a position of growth. There is perhaps holidays and travel coming in. I mean, it is a summer. But this is, for me, about new opportunities as part of a new chapter. So I want to say move forward, Scorpio. Sagittarius. Chariot. These are all big cards. Chariot. Keep going. Don't be distracted, stay on track of things. You might find that there's a few bumps in the road at the moment, so it's going to be important that you stay focused and not get pulled off into directions that could leave you thinking, I wish I didn't go down that way. It's also this week for me, Sagittarius, this is like you're overcoming obstacles, you're overcoming challenges, and you're going to start to feel like you're in the right place at the right time. Capricorn. The big penny dropping moment. Things are going to get better for you. You're going to have that clarity. You're going to have that awakening. It's like a release, off your shoulders. There's this, I'm going to say awakening around your Sagittarius. It just feels, Capricorn, it feels like you're seeing the bigger picture now and things are moving forward. You're alive. Aquarius, it's the sun. Happy news, Aquarius. You're in for a good week where you can enjoy the fun, some happy family news, some freedom. There's success around you, success within your family. It's all good. Go for it, Aquarius. Enjoy it. Connect to your inner child as you have some fun, but be free. And Pisces, King of Pentacles. Pisces, get on top of your money this week. Get on top of your security this week. It's totally possible to feel more successful than what you actually are within your home area, within your money area, and any area that brings you stability and security. But you've got to do it. You can't wait for other people to do it. You've got to get on top of this. Look at what's coming in. Look at what's going out. Look at what you don't need anymore. Declutter. Get organised. Organisation is the key. It's going to bring you much success. If you've got a business idea or anything to do with working opportunities, Pisces, take them or action them, create them, because they could be super successful for you. Have a fabulous week, everyone.
And we are back. Welcome back, and thank you to the lovely Kate May. It is.
She's
It's been a
amazing.
while. She is. She really, really is. So thank you for coming back, Kate, and thank you for all of your comments. It's been lovely, and welcome back to everyone who's been joining us with the prompts, like Victoria Witcher, who thanked someone for the nudge. And yes, I will see about doing some of my recipes, posting some of my recipes online. But before, oh, incoming transmission. What's that?
Incoming. Oh,
Oh,
okay.
That's gonna be a later on idea. That's gonna be a later on. Hello, Carol. Good to see you, Del.
Nice to see you, Carol.
Right. Okay. Lovely. So we have got one more announcement, which I know that many people have been wanting to know the answer to this question because I have been bombarded with messages about it. The Oracle cards. Yes, there are a few packs left. UK delivery only. There have been some who have purchased them from afar, overseas, across the shore, over the Great Oceania. You have been sent an email in relation to how you wish to proceed, whether you want a refund or whether you wish to pay for extra delivery, because they are hugely expensive to deliver overseas. But if you check your email, check your spam, there will be a message in there about how to proceed and how you wish to proceed in relation to that. But the other good news is that Richard is, and that email was sent over a month ago. So bear in mind, you need to look back. Just use a keyword search like Oracle card. Speaking of the Oracle cards, though, something wonderful. Richard has said that he will be setting aside some time and setting up and advertising for all those that purchase the cards. The Zoom class, the Zoom discussion that was mentioned before the hiatus. I like that word. Before the hiatus.
Yes, that's
and the PDF, of course, will all be arranged in the coming weeks. So do look out for that. All those that wanted to have a Zoom class, look, you've had time to play with them now.
exactly.
I mean, I've been playing with them for a long time now too, and it's such fun. I've been using them in workshops. I've been using them for philosophy, and we've got some wonderful results from them. But if you're interested in that Zoom class, keep an eye out on SPTV UK, and you will see arrangements when they are up and organised. And so Richard will set aside some time, tell you what time it is, and then you can come along. I'm sure it'll be recorded if you're at work or doing something else, but it would be better to have your input in there as well, because input is so important. So there we are. That I think is pretty much all of the major breaking stories at SPTV until we remember the next one.
Well, as I said, it's fluid at the moment.
No, I think
it's fluid, and it's sometimes if you give people, well, I'm at the stage now. If you give me too much information, I only remember half of it. So it's good that little sound bites come throughout, so that people gives people a nudge in the right direction, just to keep people updated and just spread the word that we're back. Because remember that wonderful saying, sharing is caring. And
absolutely.
so please share and say they are back. SPTV is back in full force, and
Absolutely.
It's so lovely to be with you all.
And you know what? I absolutely agree with you in terms. I think we've got a few second delay more than usual. I probably need to reboot my router. But I absolutely love what you said about the tidbits of information, because if it's just a list and it's information overload, but you're absolutely right. When it's drip fed throughout, plus it gives us fun and laughter and oh, by the way, and breaking news, and I wouldn't be able to do all that without. So I agree with you. People pick things up when it comes up naturally in conversation, reminding us, of course, that our memories are stored by emotion. Long-term memory is processed along with emotion. We remember stuff when it's emotional. when it's fun, when it's silly, when it's giggly, when it's sad. And so when it comes to remembering stuff, you've always got to tie some emotion into it, because that's how the brain works. That's how the brain remembers. And of course, we haven't we, Karen, been talking about changes in perception and perspective, and that is really our theme of today, isn't it? What
It is.
if I may just pick on you instantly?
You can. I don't mind. I don't mind.
When in your life was a really big light bulb, sparks flying, flashy moment that really changed your perspective on life?
Well, to be honest with you, there's been so many over the years. But oh gosh, I've got to raid the data banks now to think of one. I think the biggest was becoming a mum. You know, I can remember in great detail the day that I first held William in my arms. And that was scary. It was emotional, scary. Oh my God, I'm not just responsible for myself, I'm responsible for a tiny human. What do I do? Where do I go? And all this wave of emotion came over me. Also, I would imagine there's been times when the moment I can remember when I really first connected with the spirit world, the first message that I received that was a wow moment that made me think, yes, there is life after death. Because I think when we go into churches or we go to meetings, we sit there on that periphery thinking, oh, well, could be, that's generic. Oh, well, that could have related to half the church. But then when somebody actually gives you your grandfather's surname and lots of details, you think, oh my God. And that really then sort of like, that was it. I was no going back to that. I wanted to learn more. I wanted to understand more. I went down the healing route first, and that was amazing. And someone actually says to you, well, I came for healing last week, and it's sort of like shrunk a tumor, or I feel better. All these wonderful things that just happened since I've been involved in spiritualism. But on a different point, I'm sort of, and I don't like talking about age, because I think age sometimes age is but a number. But let's just say, as you spend more time in this on this planet, or part of this planet, and you look at things in a different perspective. So how I looked at things back in my late 20s, early 30s is completely different to how I look at them now. The things that I need in my life, the things that I look for in my life, the things that give me pleasure, such as getting excited over making a lemon drizzle cake for the WI coffee morning. And when somebody gave me a 10 out of 10 for it, you think, oh my God, I'm back baking again. And that joy. So there's lots, really, lots. You just look at things with a different head on. And I think because we change and evolve so much, we sometimes don't realize it. Mike and I were talking about what we want, what we need, and what we want in holidays moving forward. Completely different to maybe what we wanted 10 years ago. So we like quiet, we like beautiful scenery, we like walking. Years ago, I would have been wanting to go out to dance, to be in places with lots of people. Now, I don't want that. I appreciate the things, the nature, the things that are around me. Spending time with people I care about as well.
Absolutely.
So it depends what it is. There's just so many changes that happen. And I'm grateful for those changes, and I'm grateful for those life perspectives and the things that have made me look at life, and not just the great things, the sad things as well. The things where someone leaves your life, be it going to the spirit world or leaving your life because they know there's been a difference of opinion or whatever. those lessons make you stand on your own 2 feet. They make you realize the importance of people and things around you, and they learn that you have to go out there and make things happen and believe in yourself as well.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
lots of different things. What about you, Nick? What about you?
Well, once again, there's many different moments, and I think that's really at the core for me what I've learned from spirituality. And there's some wonderful comments
Yeah, we're going
by
to bring them in a minute.
past that I will want to address. In particular, the question from good old Mum. Really, really good question. I do want to answer that. Look, at the end of the day, every once in a while, there are moments in our lives when there is an absolute right and an absolute wrong. But those moments are very few and far in between. The rest of the time, there are these very unnuanced moments where there is ambiguity and uncertainty that are all dependent upon perspective. And so, one big light bulb moment for one person can be just meh for someone else. And
That's true.
I think that the risk of what we do is that we expose ourselves as spiritualists and as mediums, whether we're mediumistic or not, whether we are just spiritualists or not, we expose ourselves to an environment where the tides of change are constantly shifting. Age is one, life is one, health is one, evidence is one, realization of a conversation. You can have a simple conversation about the price of coffee, and somebody can say something where they will just say one or two words or a single sentence where it will just rip your heart and soul out, shake it upside down, dry clean it, and put it back in where it needs to be. And those are those wonderful unnuanced moments that we often miss. It's easy to notice those big polarized moments because they're so glaringly obvious. But I think when it comes to changing perspectives, we should be open to shifting and growing in every moment of our life because the opportunity is there. To be specific on one or two little events in life, I could easily say, yes, absolutely, I agree with you. The moment I walked into a spiritualist church was a big one because it was a big, big alarm bell. It's like ding, 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 wake up, conversations that I've had over the last few days, over the last week, have been big light bulb moments. But there can also be these moments where you're sitting and talking about something that's completely off topic, and someone can say something so profound about something else, and it just grabs hold of you and says, "Oi, are you listening?"
Yeah.
And if we are open to those, we can continually evolve, continually grow, continually shift our perspective. I heard Chrissy Wheatley's on watching today. When I was having a chat with Tony on Friday, Chrissy's son came up and mentioned a speech from Doctor Who. Being a sci-fi geek, here we are. It wasn't Babylon 5, but
it didn't take long. It didn't take long for the Doctor to come.
Less than an hour. 50 minutes exactly. Sci-fi quote of the day. And he mentioned this quote from Doctor Who. It was from an episode called The Zygon Inversion. And he was talking about war and this battle that was going on in the episode. It was a two-parter. And he said, you can grow, you can change, you can evolve. It's just a posh way of saying change your mind. And that really was quite a profound moment for me, even though it wasn't about what was being discussed at the time, even though it wasn't about what was going on in the world which inspired that original quote. For me, it was a moment of revelation, because we are all surrounded by moments of transition and moments of revelation. We don't know what they are or when they are or what shape they take. The only thing we do know is that the big ones are always born out of pain. But just like the phoenix, it rises from the ashes of the past. And we must be open to that option. We must be open to that possibility that the smallest comment and the smallest gesture can make us rise from the ashes of what was yesterday. And I've had a few big moments like that in my life. But mostly the ones that stick with you are the ones that are smaller and quieter, because we all know at the end of the day that the world is changed by the quiet ones, while the noisy ones take.
Oh, yes.
So, you know, I couldn't put a pin on anything specific, because I think if we are open to it, those moments are there for us every day. But certainly I've had a few over the weekend. And so, you know, that's what I've got to say on the subject, really.
I think it's, you said something about the changing of your mind, and I want to ask Richard if he could pop up Debbie Callow's comment in a minute, because that sort of resonated a little bit with me. But I just want to say, there's that quote that we can change our perspective, how we look at things. Change happens, but sometimes we have to shift how we look at things. And what's great sometimes is a lot of us can be tunnel visioned, and but having discussions with different people can broaden your mindset as well, which I think is important in this day and age. Yeah, that was Richard. Can you just go back to the previous comment that you just popped up a minute ago? Debbie says, I can look at situations now with more control with how I want it to affect me. And I like that. I like that.
Yeah.
Because it's similar. We how, you know, we can deal with things, but you can look at it with more control. And I think that comes with the wisdom of maybe on how you've dealt with things before. You know, wisdom from the past, teachings for the present, which is a wonderful book that I've been looking at, which I've got at the moment, which I read a lot. It's called Echoes. It's by Deborah Skelton. And it's the wonderful teachings of the past by our pioneers. But we can still look at that today with wisdom for the present. And I think having that control sometimes, or just stopping and thinking, and maybe going into that silence. And I don't think we listen enough. I don't think we listen enough in life sometimes, because of the fast pace that we go through. So, yeah,
definitely,
it's interesting. So keep your comments coming, ladies and gentlemen, because we want to hear your thoughts, your perspectives. This is Chrissy.
Yeah, Chrissy says, James does surprise me all the time. He's very intelligent and clever with words, because he has experienced a lot, being born blind and having a brain tumor removed 4 years ago. But I am proud of James because he went to a special. I'm proud of James because of the way he interacts with the world. And I'm proud of what he said. You should be proud of the way he just weighed in with the absolute right thing to say in that moment. And it was profound. And, you know, I got to geek out with him because he said the Doctor Who speech with Capaldi, and I knew exactly which one he was talking about, because we is on the same sci-fi wavelength, my lovely. So it was a wonderful thing for him to come up and say, and it was absolutely appropriate. I have shared the full speech on my Facebook page. And Debbie says, yes, Karen, I've gone through a lot of situations. I've learned so much on how to control it. Bless your heart, darling. And please keep the comments coming in. I do want to go back to a question that was asked, slightly off topic, but really important, because it is about perspectives. So it's not entirely off the topic. Linda Brown, Mama B, asked the question, why do we say life after death when there is no death? And, that's a
Ah,
really, really important question, because I have heard a lot of wonderful, wonderful mediums change it. And they say life after life. And you know
yes,
what?
I
It
heard
is
that as well.
so
Yeah.
much more appropriate. We do acknowledge the physical death, and it is the physical death. Yeah, so life after the physical death, life after the body death, it's an acknowledgement of the fact that the physical has passed, because I think if we're not careful, we tend to brush that part of it under the carpet. So I think it's important to acknowledge that. But I do love the life after life one in terms of
Yes.
the mediumship, because it is a
Mm.
newer life. But there are sometimes, don't you think, Karen, a risk that we try and make light of the physical passing, which tends
Yes.
to prevent us from acknowledging and dealing with that.
Yeah. Yeah. It's very true, because sometimes when I first started going to spiritual churches, death or dead was a word that wasn't used. But people I think sometimes people that are not, not stalwarts of not stalwart spiritualists, sometimes the word death makes people understand that it's an end of something.
Yeah.
So but it's a change. Death
Yes.
is a change. And you move from the physical to the spiritual, or a transition. I think somebody put up it's a
Yeah.
trans
Life after
because
transition. Yes.
life after transition. So it is a change. But I think what we forget is we're transitioning all the time
Yeah.
within our physical life, and and I think I just want to bring in eternal progress is open to every human soul here, because but that doesn't. And when I used to look at that principle, when I used to go to church, I used to think, oh well, that happens when you go to the spirit world, but it doesn't. It happens, I think, from the moment you start to think a little bit out the box, when you are awakened by something, because you are progressing, you are moving, and you're understanding that that's what happens. Because sometimes I think, and I'm going to use a funny analogy here. Sometimes I think when we're on life, if you can imagine, where when you're on an aeroplane, or when you're on the big wheel, the London Eye, you're moving, but you don't think you're moving, because it doesn't feel like you're moving, but you are. It feels like you're on that spot, and sometimes life can be like that. But when you understand that life changes and you grow and you're aware of the energies, I mean, people have been talking about the Lion Gate and the things that have happened within that. And when the moon changes and when the cycles changes, sometimes when you're aware of that, then that our lives we're sensing and we understand the roller coaster that happens. So we're understanding the movement within that wheel of life. We're understanding, and we can feel it, and it feels faster, or it feels slower, or then it may feel sort of plateaued. So I think it's the awareness that we do understand within our lives, and then there's stages in our lives where we're just going through the process, but it doesn't feel like we're moving. Yeah.
Absolutely. And yeah, I like what you said about obviously the seventh principle, and just for sake of clarification and openness. Although Karen and I are of different organizations and therefore different wordings, because within the alliance we dropped the human. It's the eternal, for
Mm.
us it's the eternal
Yeah.
progress of the soul, because we
Yes.
wanted to acknowledge that we were not the only emotionally evolved beings wandering around the planet. But the point stands that
Yeah.
you're right, it doesn't always clearly define when that development and progress begins, because people do assume it's after the physical
Yeah.
passing. It's absolutely not, which is why I love always bringing up the golden chain recitations and the 10 spiritual commandments and the 10 ways of living that Emma Hardinge Britten were given by spirit, that then gave birth to the seven
Yes.
principles, because she called them her creed or her summary of those 20. And if you look in the Golden Chain recitations, there is a deeper and emotional wealth of guidance on what those 7 principles actually mean. For instance, the very first one in the 10 spiritual commandments, we call it the charter because it sounds a little bit less harsh. It says, never stop seeking and searching throughout all of your life. And it touches upon, in a good 2 or 3 other ones, and especially in the ways of living, it talks about that change and growth and progress is an eternal thing starting before you even got here. So we absolutely agree that principle is so misinterpreted. It is unreal, and it is about making the change now while you've got the opportunity. Because yes, if you get things wrong, you can correct it when you get up there, after when you're in the life after life. But why wait when you can make a change now? Yes, in the spirit world, your perspective will be much wider and broader and more open when you're up there. But just think how much wider and how much broader it could be if you start making that change now, in this moment and in the moments that come. So yes, I absolutely agree.
Yes, definitely. It's interesting, how we change and how we evolve, and life, and we sometimes call it life lessons. We sometimes call it, learning from our mistakes. But I don't like the word mistakes, because they're only a mistake if you don't learn from it, if you don't move forward. And quite often, we do. We do learn from it, and we do move forward. Life can be really interesting, the ups and downs of life. And I think I've mentioned this film before, but I would love, actually, to watch my movies so far. So this will be a good one. So, if there was a movie made of your life, what would it be called?
And who would play you?
Well, yes, Nick. I like that. So, what would your movie be called?
Well, first of all, I would like to say hi to Miss Morris, and thank you everyone who's watching for bringing Miss Morris up to speed on what the topic is. Wonderful. That's community for you. What would my movie be called? Now, that's a really, really good one. And considering I'm a huge sci-fi fan and a huge sci-fi, geek, it's something that I've never actually really thought about. But thank you for your help. 15 Sermons and a Calamity. 15 Sermons and a Calamity was a suggestion by one of my friends there. A play on 4 Weddings and a Funeral, I'm sure. But yeah, 15 Sermons and a Calamity, because, I would be, I'm actually quite proud to say that my life has not been as smooth running and easy as it may have been. It's not been perfect, but it has been wonderful. And your comment about mistakes, absolutely on point with that. Because I have learned from my mistakes, I hope. I probably haven't learned from all of them, but the really, really big ones, I don't tend to make more than 2 or 3 times. So, I think that the learning part of it, I think the geek takes on the spiritual. What was that? The geek takes on the. That sounds like a good one. I'm going to have to look back at that.
That's a good one, because it's a little bit like, what's I've been watching the Percy ones that have been the films, you know,
Oh yeah,
Percy and the, that
yeah.
one. Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
the geek
The
takes
geek
on the
takes
spiritual world and all
things that
matter
things that
by Nick
matter
Brown.
by Nick Brown. I like that. That's lovely. That's lovely. That's brilliant. That's
Thank
brilliant.
you.
What's that, Richard?
Oranges. So Richard's
Oranges.
the oranges.
The oranges. Ah, yeah.
So Richard's just explaining the importance of an orange, with the skin being the peel and the inside, you know, the pith being a protective layer, and the different segments, and sweet, not so sweet, tangy, not so tangy, and the differences and all the different segments of your life. Really, really nice there, Richard. Very, very profound. I
Absolutely.
like that.
So we've got the orange, the segments of life.
Yeah. And
By Richard.
what's the Christmas special? Yeah, you got the seed. Yeah, absolutely. But what would your Christmas special be called? Clementine? Because you got to have a Christmas special. The orange,
Oh,
the Revenge of the Orange Juice.
the revenge of the oranges. Now
See,
we really are going off piece now, aren't we?
I've
But
got to
come
be
on,
honest.
people.
I could think of a lot of really naughty ones that are play on other
Yes,
films, but when
yes.
it comes to being serious about it, you know, or I could start a live let's chat with Nick Lowell. It's just, but yeah, what about you, Karen? What would your movie be called?
Oh God, I don't know. It could be there's one or two here. You know, she did it her way, or she got there in the end. because, because she got there in the end, I think. Because I'm terrible with direction. Direction is one of the things you know, but I get there in the end. I always get there. So I think she got there in the end. You know, or a light bulb moment. I don't know, but there's quite a few. I like Julie Cathwell's My Movie, A Comedy of Errors.
A Guide's Crash
Guys,
Course.
crash course. I like that, Julie. Love it. Love it.
Yeah, but
So that is
that's
really good.
wonderful.
So come on, think of your titles. Let's have some film titles out there. You
Yeah.
know,
It's ironic, really, that you should ask that question and I should struggle to answer it, because I had a habit of putting music to my life, like endings. And when I left BP, because obviously I moved around different stores quite a bit. When I actually left the company, full stop, I was playing on speaker Julie's theme from EastEnders, where the version of the closing music to EastEnders that plays when they go under the bridge. And I was
all right.
playing that
Yes.
as I left the petrol station. So I've always put themes to things, but I haven't actually named it. So I'll have a proper think about that.
Yeah. It's good. It's a good one to do. When I do the Assembly of Spiritual Inspirations, we have a thing called Spotlight Questions, and this is one of my questions. If your life was a movie, what would it be? Or if your life was a book, what would it be called? Because it just makes you stop and makes you think. Another one I do is, if you were a superhero, what superhero would you be? Oh, I love that, Victoria. Nick Brown, The Infinite Frontier. Oh, yes, definitely it. I love that. And then you could create your own Prime Directive.
Yeah. These. Oh, hello. I've got an alarm going off. These are the voyages of the USS Mediumship. Its continuing mission to seek out eternal life
Oh, I love
and new
that. Oh,
forms of
that's great.
living, to
Right.
boldly go where everyone has gone before.
Can I be your lieutenant?
Yes, absolutely.
Make it so number one.
Jan A says, if I had made a different choice, oh, bless you.
Oh, Jan, I love that, Jan. What would happen. It's like that.
Yeah.
There's that film, isn't it? Sliding Doors.
Yes.
Where there was that was I love that film because was it Gwyneth Paltrow? I think was in that.
Yes.
Sliding Doors. I love that. I love that film.
Yeah.
And Victoria's saying, "Oh no, what has been started?" Yes, exactly, Victoria. You started something there. Oh, I
Absolutely.
like
Speaking
Carol.
of starting something, oh, Carol's one. Where's the
Where's
manual?
the manual? Help a guy.
I think for me, sometimes in the mornings, it's where's first gear, please.
Yes.
Speaking of what have we started? Oh, Kelly, bless you.
Oh, Kelly.
Second best.
No, you're
I
not.
don't.
No, you're not. I don't think
Only,
that at all.
only if the movie ends with a scene of you being joyous and uplifted and not giving a stuff.
Yeah.
Thanks, Chrissy, the geek that loves to chat about everything and everything.
Yes.
I'm expecting another and everything coming there. But speaking of what have we started, I think it might be time to start having a conversation with Spirit too, because I noticed that
Absolutely.
I was getting some feedback loops and reversing of the polarity from my friends in Spirit there. So perhaps now we should start seeing who's out and about in the world of Spirit, wanting to reach out and prove that there is indeed, as was pointed out by Mama B, life after life.
Life after life.
So would you like to be first to take the platform, my lovely?
Yes, I think I can. I think I can do that. Oh, I like Bernie's one. Mine is "This is me. Deal with it."
And the
I like that.
twists and turns of Tony Coppins.
Tony Coppins.
That sounds like a Dickens novel, doesn't it?
It does. It really does. Yes. Yes. And the vision now is of all people walking about with all the Dickens regalia, the posh frocks and the hats and the frock coats. Okay. So I'm going to invite the spirit world to join me now. Okay. I've just been joined by a wonderful lady from the spirit world. And I know that she's a mum. And I know that she's got this really lovely infectious giggle. And I also know that she would have had an issue with her throat at one time and also an issue with her chest. She's got such a lot of love to bring here. And I feel she wants to step forward because she wants to bring upliftment and help to her daughter. So I know I want to connect with a lady. She's also making me aware of my glasses here. So I know that she would have quite had issues with glasses towards the end of her life. And I feel that they weren't quite right. She was always having issues with her glasses because of her eyes. And I just feel that something kept changing with her eyes here. Some changes with her eyes. I feel that there was a deterioration with her eyes that she's making me aware of, and I just feel here definitely about her throat. I feel that she struggled with communication before the end of her life. So if this makes sense to anybody, please let me know. Put up, just say I can understand this, and then Richard can put the comments up so that I can see them. I also am aware here that she did suffer also with arthritis, especially within her hands. I feel that and this was a big frustration to her because I do know that this lady loved to. She would write herself notes, but I do feel that she would have loved to write letters and things in cards. So if you received a card from her, sometimes they do, Michelle, but they do give names, but not all the time. But we'll see what we can do. But would you understand that this lady wouldn't just have written love, love from mum? There would have been, a little more, a little verse or something within the card. And I do know that she would have had rather nice handwriting. So I'm looking at this writing here, and I know that she would have had nice handwriting as well. So does this make sense? Does this make sense to anybody at the moment? If it does, please put you know, yes, no, or whatever in the comments, so that I can understand. I do also feel that the arthritis did spread down to her legs as well, and I feel that she did struggle. She did struggle with her legs, especially around her knees too. So are we getting any feedback yet, Richard, or not? Are we there? Okay. So I just feel here that she just wants to link with her daughter. Nothing yet. Okay, okay. So I just feel that she definitely wants to link with her daughter. And I know that September is important as well, because I want to go around the middle of September, and also around the end of uh, September going into October. So I did feel it was Mum, Ashley, to be honest with you. But if you can understand the information, okay, Carol, you can understand this. Okay. So, Linda, so this sounds like your mum. Okay. So can I just get, before I go any further, Carol, did you understand? That sounds like you at the moment, what you're feeling, but that this is definitely something from the spirit world. So you can understand that, Linda. Okay. Now, would you understand, Linda, if I am with you, that you kept for a long time, or in fact still have, some of your mum's cards or some writing, or letters or something with your mum's writing? I feel that you still have them. There's something with your mum's writing on it in a box, and I feel that this is in a box. There's boxes kept with Nan's memorabilia, with mum's memorabilia, I want to say. And I just feel here that you still have it, because I feel that she just had this beautiful, right, okay, Linda, I'm with you. Okay, and I know Linda's Nick's mum, but we'll see, Lucinda. Give us time. But I don't always know who's going to step forward. So I just feel here that she's laughing because she's saying that you've still got a lot of her stuff. And would you also understand, Linda, that she would have had a brooch that was very, very, I feel went down within the family. And it looks to me like some form of cameo brooch, because I feel it's like one of those cameo brooches. And I think it might be blue, like a blue cameo, or a brooch with blue in it. And I feel that you were thinking about either wearing it or giving it to somebody else to wear. This is what she's making me aware of. And she's laughing because she said, you've always been sentimental, but I also feel that she was sentimental as well. And she's also coming through with a lot of emotion for you, because there was a time, I feel, when she was struggling, where you both sat down and shared some meaningful conversations. But I do feel there was a lot of emotions, and I feel that she struggled towards the end of her life, especially with the throat and the chest condition, but also that she could. You have it. Okay, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. And I feel that there was some, she tried to let you know what she was feeling, because she was aware that she didn't have a lot of time left. I just feel that she more or less knew when she was going to go to the spirit world, or she just had this feeling. She always had those feelings in life, where she sort of knew that things were going to happen, or she just had, she used to call it like a gut feeling or a woman's intuition. But I think she sort of understands now that it's also, she's saying Nick has her gift. So, and this is what she's saying. She's really proud of that, because I feel that she didn't really use it to the best of its ability, because of how she felt about life, and what people would say, and all these things. And that's why she's so pleased. Oh God, I'm getting a bit emotional now. She's so pleased that Nick speaks his truth. and she loves it. She absolutely loves that. And she loves it that you also speak your truth and you're standing on your own 2 feet. And you're also, you know, she just loves you to bits. And she knew when her time was to go, but she also wants you to know that she was happy to go. She was happy to go because the physicality, she was struggling and she didn't like it because she wasn't living the life that she wanted in the physical body, but she's now definitely living life to the full in the spirit world, and she really wants you to know that. She's back being busy. She's back sort of, getting into everything because I feel she was a lady that loved to get into the crux of things. She loved to go out. She loved to meet people. And she loved to be in the hub of her family. But she's in the hub of her family within the world of spirit. But she still keeps an eye on the hub of her family that's still here because she still loves you to bits. And she's just such a wonderful lady. You still have books belonging to her. And I feel, I don't know if it's like a prayer book or a Bible or something, but there's something, it looks very warm. It's very warm that she had, but I do feel it was something that she treasured. And it looks very sort of like, the brown pages. And I feel, again, this has been, there's things that she kept within the family. And I feel that you still have the things that she had. She's talking about medals. So I feel she's saying that you have medals belonging to your father. And she's also talking about a watch as well. And you have her rings. And you have her rings. I want to say wedding and engagement ring. You have the rings. And I feel at one time you would have worn them round your neck. I don't know if you do now, but I just feel that you would have worn one of them round your neck. And she loves the flowers because I do feel she absolutely adored flowers. And she's drawing attention to lilies. And also I feel the name of Lily is important, as is the name of Michael connected. And I also feel the name of Stan as well, and also the name of Peter. And I just feel that she's talking about people that she loves and people that she connects with. And she also has the dogs. I want to use that in the plural. She also has the dogs. They are with her. She says, we have a right old time up here. It's a little bit like the old days where we used to have a knees up. So don't think that you're going to get off light when people come off. Not that you're going yet, she's saying, but we have a right old time. And all right, she gave them to you. And we have a right old time over here in the world of spirit, but we still like to look through the glass, look through the mirror to see what you are doing. So take our love.
Wonderful, bless you. Yes, I can confirm pretty much all of that as well on behalf of Mum. That there was always this discussion about the rings because Mum refuses to wear them. And every so often she'll come through and mention them to say, put the darn things on. But she still won't. And I've actually, I know of which book you are speaking. And if I get a chance,
Right.
I'll show you.
Oh,
Because I've got it.
oh,
So yeah, wonderful. And yeah, Nan was a bit of a worrywart. And that does tend to run down the family more than one generation before she thinks I'm
yeah.
having a go. So yeah, wonderful. Oh, I'm glad you got a message, Mum.
Oh,
Beautiful. Thank you, Karen.
pleasure. Always.
So, as I was linking in earlier, I was having a bit of a giggle actually, because this gentleman, hello Amanda, this gentleman, as he stepped forward, he's an older gentleman. He has a quite a serious side to him, but he was also the kind of gentleman that looked at life as an open, pretty much like we've been talking today. Actually, he looked at life as an open book. He saw the funny side in everything. and he was able to make light in dark moments as well. As he came into, I can't remember, but as he came into the room to sort of like introduce himself, he had this. He even made the joke about the Ministry of Funny Walks, because he had this funny little walk that was half him actually physically suffering in pain, but it also acted up a little bit to make it a little bit more comfortable in how he walked, but additionally to give people a giggle as well and to kind of cover up the pain that was there. He was slightly stooped, but he was a little bit taller than me, so probably over 5'10" when he was stood completely upright, but would be about just slightly lower than me when he was a bit stooped. Very smartly dressed, very traditionally dressed. He had a waistcoat on and those wonderful, wonderful trousers that look kind of formal, but actually are quite soft material, comfortable material. It's kind of like a chino type thing. And he's not showing himself as wearing dark colors. It was all, browns and creams and lovely, lovely neutral tones. And he's got this wonderful toothy grin. I do feel that this is on a fatherly, grandfatherly level, and I do feel that as well as having a problem with his gait. And he did like words too. Rather than saying walk, I had to say gait. As well as having a problem with his walk, I do feel that there was an awful lot more going on as well, to be fair, bless his heart. And he was able to mostly keep that, pinned in, because he didn't want people to see that weakness. He wanted to see the joy. He wanted to see the laughter. I feel kind of numb all down one side, so I don't know whether there would have been a stroke in relation to that, or whether there was just so much going on but I certainly do feel numb all down one side, and heavy, so heavy. So I can only surmise from experience that would be some kind of stroke condition. I did hear the name in connection to him or you as the recipient, the name of David, and I'm also aware that the person that he wants to talk to is kind of mimicking him a little bit in terms of playing happy, playing cheerful, playing, joyful, but actually is feeling the weight and restraint of life right now. I do know that there is yes, of course it is. There is an anniversary either just passed in the last couple of weeks or coming up, because I feel August is important. And Naomi Brown says, my dad, maybe. Would you understand that for me, it was this mucking about with the funny walk? It's almost like he had a bit of a shuffle, but he'd make it into more of a shuffle just to kind of, certainly the younger ones. The younger ones were the ones that he didn't like to see him suffering. He would always make light of things and make a bit of a giggle out of it. The older ones would probably be a little bit concerned or a little bit annoyed in equal measure, but it'd always be that reassuring, I know what I'm doing, and I can even hear him saying stuff like that. Oh, I know what I'm doing. Oh, don't you worry. So if Naomi, that can resonate with you, I'd be happy. Amanda says also that this person sounds like my father-in-law. So I've got two. So if you could both just either confirm or deny, and your dad's name was David. So Amanda and Naomi, if you could confirm or deny that last bit. Yeah, Dad did like to muck around. Right, okay, let me get this sorted then. I know that I mentioned David. There is also, thank you, appreciated, a James somewhere around involved as well. And this gentleman, the way he spoke, he was well spoken. He knew stuff. He was knowledgeable. He was worldly wise, but also, information wise. He'd have been great to have in quiz night, thank you. But I also know that that annoyed him because when this situation affected him, it's like he slowed down and you could see the real him still there. He was there, he was always there, but you could see that progression of slowdown coming over him. And you could also see the frustration around that with him. Ironically, I feel that there was a condition in his lower abdomen that was the thing that eventually kind of, I was going to say beat him. And he just turned around, and this feels like typical him, really. He says, "It didn't beat me. I just let it win because I'd had enough." Again, like you said earlier, he says, "It didn't beat me. I just let it win because I was tired of constantly feeling slow when my mind was so fast." And I think it's important to whoever he wants to come through to, that they understand that although the physical let him down, the mind was always there and you knew it. And people would question that, but you were a defender. Naomi says, might be from it. Naomi, thank you for your honesty. Appreciated. Amanda, my father-in-law had several falls which made him slow down, but he still kept his sense of humor. Yeah, I think I am. And ironically, if I recall, you came on and said hello just as I was linking in, because I remember saying hello to you. So I think he knew. I've got to say, with that sense of humor, there is this kind of sharp sass, is the only way I can describe him. He said, "I think he knew," as if to say, "Well, obvious, duh, you figured it out finally, Nick." And then there's again this big cheesy grin that comes back with that, because he could get away with sass, because he had this ability to be sassy where it was funny rather than aimed at anyone, because he didn't like fun being at the expense of others. He says there's a whole world of humor out there. Why do people have to focus on the one where it's at the expense of others? It's just not nice. It's just not fair. And so he had high morality and a high sense of the highest sense of right. I'm just reminded that that's from the 10 spiritual commandments. So he's obviously been paying attention to what's been going on with you, dear, and taking an interest. Yeah, that grin is a bit open, shall we say. But it was still bright and still shiny. And he says, so long as my mind never gave up, I was okay. But towards the end there, the fact that my body couldn't keep up with my head was what wound me up the most. He did use a different phrase there, but I do have to be careful on what and how I say it online and in a public forum. But my grandfather had a saying about a part of the body being twisted, and it's to do with the posterior, and it's that kind of phraseology. Oh, it sounds like, bless you. I don't know what it is about people like him, but I can just so resonate with him so well in terms of the connection that he can make use of me more. And that is part of who he was. He was able to make use of anything. And, people talk about recycling now. He was recycling before the word was even invented. There was never any wastage. There was never any cast-offs. He was able to put things to use, and even if it was broken, bits of it would be made use for other things. I've got to say that in a different time, or maybe even, to an extent with his actual life, in a different time and place, he could have been one of those wacky inventors. Because he, in actual fact, I'm seeing things made out of other stuff, bits of stuff that had been broken and damaged that he would repurpose into something else. I'm not saying that he created a wind turbine out of a bike wheel and some old some old sailboat paddles, But that's the kind of stuff that he could have turned his mind to if he wanted, because he was always making use of the broken and the damaged and the in need of repair, because nothing is, thank you. He said, nothing is ever broken, nothing is ever truly damaged, and nothing is never able to be made use of or repaired. And this is his message to you. In life, he was able to repurpose, reassign, redesign, redefine. And it was always something beneficial, uplifting, and humorous. And that's what he wants to say to you. That's his lesson, his message, his learning is nothing is ever too damaged or too broken that it can't be fixed or repurposed into something bigger, bolder, and better. And so please, please take that message, because I feel that is what he wants to say. And he says it with such compassion and such, glee, because he's saying, she knows I know what I'm talking about, and I hope you do, because he just feels so joyous that he was able to not only turn any item into something new, but turn any comment into something important and get his message over. And it's a real skill. Amanda says, absolutely, such an order and would turn all sorts into something. I'm sure you must have some of his inventions still remaining. And he says, even if you haven't, there is one invention that I did have a hand in tweaking and changing and growing and evolving. And he says, that's you. He says, and you have the power to do that for yourself too. So please take his love, his humor, his upliftment, and his wild and wacky inventions and be blessed because you are, he says. And take his love, take his upliftment. And I'll say, God bless you, Amanda. And thank you for listening.
Oh, wow. That was amazing. I love listening to your work. It's lovely. I love the detail and everything you bring, the emotion and the character and the story. The gentleman, well done. Thank you, Nick. Beautiful. Okay, so as I was sitting there listening to you, I was aware of a gentleman that draws close to me, and I do feel I have a lady too, but she's sort of standing in the background a little bit. But this gentleman's sitting there saying, "No, I didn't believe in this. No, I didn't believe in it." So I do feel and I just sensed that there was a stubbornness about him. And I feel here now. I'm going to be honest here. I'm not sure if he feels. I know he's family, but I feel that it could be. I've got father here, but I also feel brother. So I just feel here that he's just, and he was very much not a man of many words, and he would just give sort of one syllable answers, or if you were lucky, a sentence. So I just want to you, Amanda just said you have actually brought him through twice for me when I needed it. So that's amazing, Nick. Well done. Well done. But this gentleman, and I feel that he would sometimes sit on the fence on things in life, but also I feel that he would sort of perch himself on a fence or on a wall. And I do feel he would have had his arms folded and he sort of wouldn't say, "Oh, no, I don't agree with that." I feel that he could be a little bit stubborn and not flexible in his opinions and very sort of, no, that's, very sort of forthright and sort of like quite strong in his belief in life. And I do feel here that sometimes he clashed a little bit with people because he wouldn't bend. He was not a bendable person. He wasn't flexible. So I just feel that he's just here because I feel that he wants to say that he's flexible now because he realizes that this is true. So I do feel that whoever I'm with would have spoken to him about their belief in life after life and in spiritualism. And I do feel that he would have known that you would have attended churches or centres, but I feel that he was very much on the fence or very skeptical about this way of life, and sometimes didn't even want to hear about it. And there may have been, I feel, he would have said that if this is true, I will come back. So does this, if this makes sense to you at the moment, please let me know, because I just feel that he just wants to say, I'm back. Tracy, okay, I wasn't sure if it was brother, and Bernie can understand this as well, but the prominent thing here is that he said, if this is true, I will be back. So if they said that to you, Bernie, I called it Codswallop. That's the sort of feeling that I've got here. So Tracy, I do feel sort of drawn to you, but I just feel that he's just got this laid back attitude sometimes, where he's sort of like sitting there with his arms folded, perched on a wall. And I would feel he would have had a leather jacket at one time, because I'm just aware of this leather jacket here. So I do feel that he was sort of like, he was stubborn, but in a funny sort of laid back way, and shrugged his shoulders at things and said, "What if?" and very sort of, I don't know. There was no, and I just feel that sometimes he would be stubborn for the sake of it, to wind people up. Sometimes he loved a wind up, I feel here. But he did have a good sense of humour. And I also feel that he would have smoked, or it's something. There's something in his mouth here where he would have chewed on something. Because I've got him chewing, so I don't know if it was like a matchstick or something that he would have chewed on the side of his mouth. This is what he's making me aware of here. Right. Oh, Tracy, I'm going to work with you, because I did feel drawn to you, and Bernie's just said that she can't take it. So Tracy, I'm gonna work with you. But he's just he really had an opinion on it, on everything, whether you liked it or not. He's just a bit of a character, but he loved to stir the pot, because I feel sometimes he drops something into a conversation and watch the ripple effect, and he loved doing that, and then he'd just sit back and watch. He'd watch the ripple, he'd watch you all run around, or scream and shout, or do whatever, but he just loved that ripple effect. And but now he said, well, I've got to eat my words now, because I'm back. And he said, you know, it's been a wake up call for me. So it's hard for him to say this, Tracy, but he's saying, you were right. And I do feel that that was hard for him to say, because he hated not being right. He hated sort of having to step down, or he did love to stir things up. Oh yeah, he loved it, and he's got this little cheeky smile, this little smirk on his face, as if to say, "Oh, look what that's done! Oh, look what I've done now!" And he absolutely loved that. And he is quite a character. And he wouldn't have to say a lot, because it would just be one sentence that would do it. And he'd sort of like, everybody would sort of scramble, or everybody would be up in arms about something. And it just would be one thing. His timing on this would be absolutely perfect. He'd wait for that moment and then drop the bombshell, and that was it. And he was known for this, I feel. And I do feel he's saying that they even spoke about me stirring things up, or my sense of humour at my funeral. And he said it's amazing what people say about you when you're not there. So he's got this, he said, oh, there was things that he didn't, he said, you learn a lot when you're over the other side. And he said, this is a hard one for me to say. I've learned quite a bit since I've been over there. And he just wants to say, how much he appreciated you. And I don't think he would have said that here. I really don't. So he just wants to say how much he appreciates, or still appreciates, you, because you were always there for him. I feel that you would stick up for him maybe when others wouldn't. And you would sort of, you were a little bit like his protector. That's what I want to say. But I do feel that there was a, a funny sort of bond between the two of you. And he's saying that you did used to wind each other up when you were younger. He'd hide things that belonged to you, and you'd be all around the house looking for it, and then it would just appear. And he was, he was definitely a wind up. But I do feel here that he's just bringing this lady forward, and she's very quiet. Um, she's very quiet, but I do feel that this is your grandmother, Tracy, and he just wants to let you know that they've met up. And oh, that's good. It sounds exactly like him. That's good. But this lady's just stepped forward with him, and he's quite protective of her. So I do feel it's somebody that he cares about. So it's making me feel like she's grandma. And I just feel that he's come forward and she's come forward with him. She's a little bit nervous. So I don't know if she's been through before, but he's got his arm around her and he's saying, we're together, and he just wants you to know that. And that they're both okay. They're both okay. But he's definitely the spokesperson. But would you also understand where he would have had a motorbike? Because I do feel that he loves speed. He loves something to do with a motorbike here. And he's playing with keys, chucking keys about as well. I feel he wouldn't have been, he sort of like would have fiddled with things. He would have chucked keys and sort of like doing this sort of like chewing thing as well. And very sort of like, he wouldn't have stood straight. He would have always sort of leaned back in a chair and sort of like leaned back on a wall. He's just got this. And life, he said sometimes, you know, like he sort of didn't get in the worry of the throes of life. But I feel that your grandma did. She worried about what people thought. She worried about what people said. But he's got her, and he's so pleased that they're together. And I do feel that she would be the only one that sort of. Oh, he had a Honda, right? Okay. But I just feel that she would be the only one that he could sort of like share things with. I feel that they shared a lot, and they're sharing a lot together in the spirit world. So take their love because they're together and they love you, and he definitely appreciated you. So lots of love there, Tracy.
Brilliant. How lovely. Wow, wonderful stuff. Hope you enjoyed that connection there, Tracy. What a wonderful message, and actually what a beautiful way to bring our first outing together back to an end, because we are reaching the end of our appointed time together once more. Can you believe it's already been nearly an hour and a half? And so uplifting a day it has been too. Thank you to everyone who has supported today and shared and reached out and made comments, got involved. And again, it's always so beautiful to see the conversations that are going on in between, where the community building is still so very alive. And it's been an absolute pleasure to be back with yourselves, you wonderful SPTV fam. And it's been brilliant to be back with Richard and Karen, serving spirit and serving you all. He actually says it's gone so quick. It really has, hasn't it? So yes, we are at a point now where we're gonna wrap up, but I do want to say thank you to everyone. And don't forget that tonight, of course, the Duchess herself, 7 p.m, Deb Clark is back, filling the airwaves with joy, upliftment and evidence. And do not forget to look out for the rest of the schedule in the coming days. And also a reminder that Zoom class will be notified as soon as it is organised, whenever that will be.
Absolutely.
But Karen, pleasure as always. Thank you.
Well, it's been wonderful. And also, please, tell everybody that we're back. We will be back again with you next week on Monday. There's, this is a fluid time, so there will be other shows, I'm sure, popping up. Your favourites will be back. So just keep looking on the Facebook page, on the website, and Richard will keep you all updated. If we didn't get round to everybody's comments, or we didn't get to say hello to everybody, the time goes so quickly, but it's been so lovely to see our regular SPTV family back, and also some new people come and join us. It's lovely to be for friends to come on and give their love and support. Current hosts have been on today, which is wonderful, and it just shows the love that is in the air. And I do believe that at this time, if we send out love, and if we come together in community, that is the best thing that we can do. Because when we are united, we send out that love to people, and we send out the understanding that there is life after life. And all the perspectives that we have gone through, embrace them. Enjoy your life, wherever you are, whatever you're doing. And it's been an absolute pleasure to be back. And I just want to say thank you to Nick, because I've missed you, my on-screen hubby, and I've missed Richard. And I just want to say thank you, Richard, for bringing SPTV back to us. So
Hear, hear. Hear, hear.
And we will be back same time, same channel.
Absolutely. So from all of us here to all of you out, until next time, God bless, and may the peace of the Great Spirit go with you all.
Take care, everybody. Bye.